performance in the field. Our armor bundles provide unmatched safety and comfort, while our battle belts and holsters ensure quick and easy access to your gear. Stay prepared for any situation with our high-quality medical supplies, designed to keep you ready for action at all times. Looking to enhance your skills? Our firearms training programs will take your proficiency to the next level. Trust LT Defense for all your tactical gear needs and gear up for success on the battlefield.
This entire military is one cohesive, dedicated force. And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to tuning in to the JustGo Travel Show on Military Broadcast Radio, giving veterans a voice. And I'm excited today. I've mentioned it already in a few comments, but I'm a big fan of some of these big wheels. I almost said big dogs, but they're not big dogs. They're big wheels, are very important people, just like, of course, all of our clients are very important, fun people. But look, we have Kirsten Sanchez with us today from Carnival Cruise Lines. She's the business development director, and she really works hard with us agents. And I know she provides a lot for the Carnival clientele, if you will. Kirsten, we're glad to have you. Hello.
Hello. So great to be here with you. And hopefully I'm not buffering anymore, but I am so excited. I love how you said big wheels or big deals. And we are all VIFPs over here.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yes.
Hey, and we know that today you have a busy schedule, okay? Because I'm oftentimes seeing her on different podcasts, different little things that Carnival has going on for clients, for agents. And right now, I'm right beside her, and I'm like, man, I almost got goosebumps. You know, it's so cool, and I'm excited about it. But look, Kirsten, I know you're going to tell us a lot of information about Carnival, and whatever you want to share, you're free to do it. And also, if you want to tell us even where you're from, how you got involved in Carnival.
Yeah, I would love to. I'm so excited to be here. So I have been with Carnival for 25 years. We start young at Carnival, and then it's like the firm. We just never leave. So I've been here for feels like forever. Great company to be a part of, but started in our Miami office and then eventually moved back home. So I'm coming to you from the Atlanta area.
Atlanta.
And I got to ask, Red, I know you have cruised quite a bit with us, and we're talking VIFP, which to Carnival is a very important fun person, because if you've never cruised before, we want the fun people.
That's right.
If you don't like having fun, we don't want you. But,
Well, hey, I'm
but Red,
kind of lucky. Go ahead.
how many cruises have you been on now?
I have no idea. I really have no idea. I first started sailing with Carnival, which I'm going to have a picture here in just a few minutes, and you won't even be able to tell the age difference, and except maybe I'm like 2 or 3 of myself now. But it was on the Mardi Gras back in '86. Was for my honeymoon, and we do have a picture on there. And from my most recent, or not most recent, but my first Mardi Gras sailing after it came into commission. And so I've been on the little boat, little ship, and the big ship. Only difference was a lot more steps, obviously, but we were able to hit golf balls off the back of that ship back in '86.
Yeah, it was like way back then, wasn't it?
Fun. That was really fun. That was like last century. But I have no idea how many. I'm working on becoming a diamond. I'm only platinum.
Only platinum. That's quite a few cruises still, though.
But quite a bit. And we've been platinum for quite a while too. Quite a few cruises. But well, hey, they treat us platinum, just like the diamonds almost, in so many different areas, with priorities boarding and little special get-togethers. The Carnival really takes care of the folks that have been sailing with them a long time.
Yeah. We love our past guests, our very important fun people, our platinums, our diamonds. You know who else we love on board? We love our heroes coming on board. We love our military guests who join us. Carnival actually carries more military guests than any other cruise line out there. And we're so proud to be able to carry so many amazing people. So I know you served, and I want to thank you for your service. I know so many of your audience also served, and I want to thank all of them for their service as well.
Right. Thank you. And it's, I could say it for everybody. It's our pleasure, an honor to being able to serve. And, but it's we're all in this thing together, and that's a fact. But, speaking of the veterans thing, and listen, I can attest as a veteran, and I think this might be why I like America's cruise line so much, is because from the very first time I went on the cruise, okay, no, I'm sorry, not the first time, because I wasn't in the military yet. I joined them about 3 months after my honeymoon. But my first cruise that I went on, they took care of us veterans so well. Had an onboard, honor. What do you call it? A show,
like a gathering,
gathering that they honored the and first responders and that type stuff, and it was phenomenal. And so now every time I go on a cruise, I always tell the other cruisers about it, because a lot of veterans won't know it. I'll see them with a hat on. I'll say, hey, don't forget to be at the reception and all this, and special cocktail party and all that type stuff. Carnival takes care of their veterans.
We it's the very least we can do. We actually started, so 2016, we started those military appreciation gatherings, and they're just amazing events. We actually expanded it last year. I want to say about a year ago, we expanded it into a full military appreciation day. So on our sailings, we put, if you've never been on a Carnival ship, the atriums are huge. We put this big, beautiful American flag draped in the atrium. The cruise director and the captain do a couple announcements. That's the day we feature that military appreciation gathering you're talking about. Right. So we invite everyone in. We publish it in our fun times, which is kind of like your newspaper for the day. But you come in, the cruise director hosts it, and then we start recognizing people from all different branches of service and play the fight song. And it's kind of fun to watch some of the rivalries sometimes.
Oh,
then
man,
we also honor the years of service. Who are the loudest? Who are the loudest, Red?
Who would I say is the loudest? I'd say the dang Air Force is the loudest and most represented. Now, our guy behind the scenes over here, H-Train. What would you say, H-Train?
Yes, I was going to say, for me, I think the Marines are the loudest.
I believe he's part of the Marines. For some reason, he must be off not with us right this second. But now the Marines are loud. Marines are always loud. And but everybody is represented, except, the Coast Guard always has the least number. But, every time that I've been on board, I've had at least one Coast Guard person there. You know, sometimes active duty even, not just a retiree, which is pretty neat, you know.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I think you're about right. I think every single one I've been to as well is one Coast Guard person. So usually after the recognition, there's it's like open mic, and anyone and everyone who wants to get up and say something, whether they served or they just love our members of the military, can get on the microphone. And there was one where this lady stood up. She was an older lady, and she said, my husband's Navy, and I never appreciated the Coast Guard, she said, until he had a heart attack and Coast Guard came and life flighted him off that ship and saved his life. So it's some of the stories and things people just open their heart out. It's just beautiful.
Right. It really is. And anybody can talk, whether you're a family member. And even, I mean, there's patriots that just come in there also, just wanting to see what it's about. And man, I know they're bound to get something out of it, you know, and hearing different stories from different people. And the thing that amazes me the most is actually running. I've seen people run into somebody that they served with 15, 20 years ago, maybe 30 or 40. And it's the first time they've seen each other since they were in the service. But they just, wow, I know you, you know, and then they talk. And that is what's really amazing, how that happens.
It is. It's just such a very, very cool event. We do give everyone who attends a pin. So whether they had served or not, if they're a patriot, like you said, they get a pin as well. We also give away a cruise a month. So any of active, retired, reserves, any of our military guests that are in there, they swipe their card and they're entered to win.
Automatically entered.
Drawing once a month. You're automatically entered. Exactly. No purchase necessary. Well, except maybe the cruise, I guess.
Well, yeah, you had to get on there, right? You know,
maybe the cruise. Look, we also try to get our veterans together too. Yeah.
Hey, you know, mentioning that, you know, you can win a free cruise, like right there being veterans and stuff like that. There's so many ways though, because everybody, once you've taken that first cruise, you do get some awesome deals after that. And I mean, obviously, if you spend a little time maybe playing bingo, as you know, every time they got a game going on, or maybe if you're in the casino or you're doing this or that, you might even get something even a little more special. But Carnival, I noticed, man, we get so many great offers. And just with me being a travel agent, and I just want to throw this out there, is we work strongly and close with Carnival. And we have access as long as we know your name, your birthday, your VIP number for sure. Man, we can look right on there and we can see every single offer that Carnival has available for you at the time and compare them and tell you which one's best, the best time to sail and everything else. We're right in the mix.
You are. And I love that you said that when you were talking about, you know, you sail once and then you start getting these deals. This is why you need a good travel advisor, because we really do believe that travel advisors help get you the best pricing, first of all. So any price you see out there, travel advisors have access to those same rates, sometimes better because they kind of know the ins and outs. And we do offer military pricing. So if you are active, retired, reserves, as long as you served 2 years and had an honorable discharge, we've got some military pricing. But as Red mentioned, you know the tips and tricks. And if they play in the casino, I know you can find them some casino deals. So you do have all that information at your fingertips, and you don't cost anything extra. So I think a lot of folks don't realize that.
I've seen a few of the casino deals. Well, maybe they've already paid for it in advance, but I've seen some cruise deals where, Kirsten, you could not afford not to go get on that ship. There's no way. I mean, you just got to go get on it.
You do. So yeah, some of them you can't afford to stay home. I mean, when you're talking about, you've got all your entertainment, all your dining, some beautiful destinations that you're visiting. I mean, some of them, it's a no-brainer, especially if you're planning the right time of year. And that's another good reason to work with a travel advisor is, you know, if you're looking like next month, well, you know, next month the kids go back to school, or at least here where I am, the kids went back to school a while ago. When the kids are out of school, the pricing is higher. When they're back in school, it tends to be a little bit better. But typically, the way bookings have been working lately is the further out you book, the better the pricing.
Yeah, and that I believe that's true majority of the time.
We're open through April of 2026. We just started opening past that, which I can't even imagine. We're talking about 2027.
I know it's kind of crazy, Hey, we need to get a word from our sponsor, and we're also going to play a video that's brought to us by a veteran. And so everybody just hang in here. We'll be back with our special guest very shortly. Okay, so here we go.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, hear the line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop, and his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, hear the light. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on the front line. Family is proud but torn, but if you knew him you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flag still wave. And then he came home with only one hand. 'Cause Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, hear the light. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Marching line. Hey. Hey.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
And we're back. That was a cute little song right there. I don't know what that was exactly, but
oh
it was,
my goodness,
sounded like it started pretty good. Hey, how do you like those little videos that we play?
Me? I think the videos are great. For whatever reason, I'm having a little bit of computer audio trouble, but
Right.
I mean that song, what a beautiful song.
Right. And hey, look, during it, I was thinking, I mean, it touches me every time I hear it. I play it on there almost every show I have. But listen, Mr. Red, White, and Blue, and look right behind you is a red, white, and blue big thing. I don't know what's that called?
Yeah, so that's the funnel. I'm glad you said that because that's exactly what I was thinking. That song makes you proud to be an American, and we are proud to be America's cruise line. This is our funnel. So this is kind of the wing smokestack that's on top of every Carnival ship. Some of them not quite so winged, but that's a whole other story. But they're all red, white, and blue. We are America's cruise line. We are out of 14 different ports around the United States. Hopefully, wherever the audience is, hopefully there's a port close by. But our whole goal is to make it easy to get on board our ships and to have a great vacation. We have about 90% of our guests coming from the U.S. So, we're very, very proud to be here in America.
Hey, look, when we had you earlier, you mentioned which branches of service
Red,
do
we
I
have some
feel like's the
TikTok.
loudest?
We have some TikTok questions, I guess, from the earlier.
I cannot see those.
From the,
Hey, I'll tell you one thing. Hey, let me mention this real quick.
Okay.
Terry Lynch. She is the host for the Tracer Rounds podcast. It happens to air on Tuesday nights, but she came across and said that the Army is the loudest. Hey, what do you think about that?
I think, honestly, I think the Marines have always been the loudest anytime I've been to one of these gatherings.
Marines, yeah.
naive.
What?
Hopefully we did. Hopefully I gained some new friends and didn't send other people away. I know, very strong opinions. It sounds like.
Well, H definitely he can definitely speak for the Marines. I know that, and we're represented by all the services here on Military Broadcast Radio. Some have maybe served one enlistment, one term. Some have served for many years and done a lot over 20 years, and then also Guard and Reserve are here also. And like I said, the Carnival Cruise Line, we're not just for the veterans, but they really do take care of the veterans, which I think is more of a reason for Americans to really help support the cruise line. They're strong, they're good. And you mentioned something a little bit earlier, and I hate to change the subject away from everything else.
No.
I know H, if you're there and you want to share some comments, please do.
Okay. All right. Well, one of the comments, and very few people talk about it because it's there, but it's not a popular thing like every cruise. But how accessible are the cabins? Like, for example, you're in a wheelchair. You tell them that they're in a wheelchair. Maybe their front house is full. You can't just bump somebody. What accommodations do they provide for accessible people if there's no plan A? I guess that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I really do love the question. At the beginning, I mentioned we consider our past guests, we call them VIFPs, very important, fun person. We're all about having fun, and we want to make sure fun is accessible to everyone. So we do have rooms that are modified, depends on what the physical challenge is. If it's a mobility issue, if it's hearing impaired, seeing impaired, we do have some service dogs that come on board as well if it is a registered service dog. But those accommodations are available, and they have to be well qualified. We don't just book everyone into those rooms. You have to be a well qualified person and actually have a need to be booked into those rooms. So things like be able to get a chair into the room. There's the showers accessible. So we want to make sure that everyone is able to get on board and have a good time. And
and I'm just going to pick you up on that. The last thing that you said, that you're so right. They need to be qualified, and this is the reason why I say they need to be qualified, because I have a service dog, and we went on a cruise, and I don't know how he did it, but as service dog, they have an 8x8 square, and that's not very much. An 8x8 square with sawdust, and they got to poop in that. Because there's no grass, everybody, and you ain't gonna wait till the port, because usually the port's like 8-9 hours. And I'm not trying to steal the show. I'm just letting everybody know that they have a service dog, kind of think about that. Some people
Mhm,
don't
mhm.
think until the last minute.
No,
They have
that's
some
probably
really-
actually that's probably the number one question I hear regularly. Well, if you have a service dog, where's the dog go? And I always say, well, you ever heard of a poop deck? But yes, it is. It is mainly it's a little box basically.
Well, hey, they can always
Yeah,
go
but
up top and play putt putt.
that is a concern.
Go play putt
Take them up
putt.
to that fake grass up there. Well, I'm not sure the
I'm
kids
just
would appreciate
playing.
that.
I'm just playing. We don't need any more hazards on a
But-
golf out thing than we can, do. Hey, look, the question I was wanting to go towards. You
Mhm.
mentioned food. We got a lot of food. Almost everybody, whether they're veterans or whether they're not, they all eat. And what have they got for food? Is it something to really, write home about, or what are we looking at?
What do we say? We bring you on as guests, and then we'll haul you off as cargo. It's
I
plenty of
figured they
dining
had
options.
the rum. They had the rum,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but so if you've never been on a cruise, dining, the majority of your dining's included. You're not going to go hungry on any cruise out there. And this is not related at all. I was just listening to the news story about the astronauts that are on the space station, and the big thing they keep saying, they've got plenty of food. It's the same thing. I hear rumors every now and then. I'll be on a ship and people will be murmuring about running out of food. Not going to run out of food. There's plenty on board, and it's good too. I mean, you've got everything from casual dining, like buffet style, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And, with our casual dining, we do barbecue on many of our ships. It's a partnership with Guy Fieri from the Food Network. We do our Guy's Burgers, which are made to order burgers. That's all included. Burritos, tacos, salad, dessert, pizza, all kinds of amazing options on board. And then in your main dining room, which some people like to get dressed up, some people don't.
Right.
And it's not super, super dressy. Even, people just don't. I don't know about you. I mean, I like getting dressed up. That might be a girl thing. But people don't necessarily like to get super dressy. You might see some people in tuxes and cocktail dresses, but that's kind of the exception these days. A nice button-down shirt or a nice polo shirt most evenings in the dining room. And it's a nice seated meal with people waiting on you hand and foot. I mean, it's a nice experience, especially when, there's a meal available every 2 or 3 hours, it seems.
It really is. It really is. I've never gone hungry on one of the ships for sure. And and even into the wee hours of the morning, they still have. I think there's pizza available.
Yes.
You got room service for some things, and then there might even be a sandwich bar open at certain times after midnight. You're not going to go hungry. That's a fact. But if we look, we're surrounded by water, so we always have something to drink. I'm not gonna say it, but I would always slow down and fish, right? That's what I always would say to people.
Oh, you could, yeah.
As long as you don't mind eating fish, you're not gonna starve.
We do lobster on many of our sailings. Where do you think we get it?
Hey, right there. Hey, listen, we talked about the food. I know you got the steak houses. The steak restaurant, and I've never gone wrong with any of my meals. I don't know if I just know what to order, or but I tell you what, as soon as I see that menu or use my app, when they're keeping the hands, sanitized and stuff, but being able to use an app and look at it, which you can always look beforehand. The menu's out there for you. So you can kind of know what you're wanting, but it's more than just when you go to the dining area, main dining room, man, it's their entertainment there, but everybody, all the servers, they're just so sharp. Okay. They're so sharp and so attentive to your needs. And I don't know how they learn so much about you that first night or your first seating, but you're going to be well taken care of the rest of your cruise.
I'm glad you brought them up too, because we've played around with this idea, and we may still do it, but why a cruise is better than being in the military. Just some of the perks that you get. But one of it, I mean, our number one thing, we talk about food, we talk about dining, we can talk about all the entertainment options there are. Our secret sauce is really our crew members, and how amazing they are and how attentive, the service that you get. And our whole philosophy, we are just come as you are in a laid back, non-pretentious atmosphere and have a good time. And I think our crew does it better than anyone else. They're really amazing at what they do.
They really
You
are.
know, one thing I do love about cruising.
What's it?
Yeah, I was gonna say one thing I do love about cruising, and I said it's kind of a come as you are atmosphere. Even when talking about dining, people are wearing all different types of attire, whether they're super dressy or they're just a little more casual and laid back. Is you meet people from every walk of life, which is a really cool thing. I mean, somebody could be you could be rubbing elbows with a millionaire, and everybody is the same on board and gets the same wonderful service, which I really love.
Right. Hey, you mentioned that on one particular cruise, and this was not planned, but we found out right before we got on board that we had three girls that graduated with my wife. Now, we're high school sweethearts. We had three of our classmates in our senior class from Meridian, Mississippi on the same cruise ship.
Wow.
That was pretty wild. Okay.
And it was not planned at all.
No, it was not planned at all. And I met a guy and his wife, and it turns out he was from Meridian, Mississippi, several years younger than me. But here's the kicker to it. He lives right across the bay. He in Ocean Springs. I'm in Biloxi. Mm-hmm. So we even live close and just happened to, by chance, talk to each other. We're friends to this day. They're in the travel business with us. His wife is. She's a travel agent now with us, and which is just really amazing. But it came from that little chance encounter. And then, not to mention our three classmates, I ran into somebody that had a Meridian Fire Department shirt on. And I was like, Meridian Fire Department, Meridian, Mississippi? And they were, yeah. And it ended up his girlfriend or spouse that was with him. I played golf with her younger brother. And it's just, it's just kind of crazy. You never know who you're going to meet out there, okay? And
you don't.
Of course, we've been on the ships, I believe, when Guy was on there. And, hey, you got Shaq, broadcasting in every room and on the big screen, and get
he's our CFO.
That's what I know.
He's our chief fun officer.
He's everywhere. CFO. Hey, look,
and
we got to slip off, okay, and have a word from our sponsors again. And but we're going to be right back with you, folks. And give us just a minute, and we'll be back.
Another regular day, nobody knows. It's that time, he's coming home to them from a foreign land. He pulls up, his mama cries, looks at daddy with tears in his eyes and says, nothing feels better than this. Couple of months go by and no one sees. Something just ain't right, only wants his peace. He needs help, but he don't know the path to take or the way to go to be free and put his mind at ease. We will help, 'cause we can't stand to see a soldier go to God by their own hands. We will do everything we can to make 22-0 again. He gets help, but he still feels off. Sees an ad on the TV about a dog bad and sick. This is a man's best friend. Whoa, so he goes one day and he picks it up. Never thought a dog could bring so much love and put a smile on his face. But he's finally found a saving grace. He needs help, but he don't know the path to take or the way to go to be free. Put his mind at ease. We will help, 'cause we can't stand to see a soldier go to God by their own hands. We will do everything we can to make 22-0 again. Whoa, whoa. He needs help, but he don't know the path to take or the way to go to be free. Put his mind at ease. We will help, 'cause we can't stand to see a soldier go to God by their own hands. We will do everything we can to make 22-0 again.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Hello, everybody. And there's Kent Red and Kirsten Sanchez from Carnival Cruise Line with us. Now I'm going to pull something up on the screen right here. If you're driving down the road, don't try to just pay too much attention to it. I'm going to also kind of coach everybody through it, okay? And let me see if I can press it, forward it on. I might have to pause it there. And okay, look at there. I've mentioned being on the Mardi Gras before. There's me and my wife back in '86, and Mardi Gras again in 2021, shortly after she began sailing, and here off the United States. It's pretty neat. I am a little bit different. Well, anyway, so let's move on to the next slide. You know, we talk about fairway travel, Kent and Fonda here, and man, you can always comment in here or email us and check out our hashtag JustGo. That'll take you to our Facebook page, and look us up, Fairway Travel or JustGo Travel, and you can see us. Now, here's some of the pictures I'm really I'm happy with, and I don't know what ship that is in the picture.
I might have to put some glasses on to see. It does look like one of our maybe it is Mardi Gras. I'm looking off the back. We've got the miniature golf course.
Yeah, I mean, and it might actually be. I can't make out boat on it though, right? And it might be on there also. But anyway, look, this is just a picture of the ship, man. I want to just say, everybody imagine being on that cruise ship right now and looking off that port side at the sunset. Wow, you know. And then you go down to the main dining room, you have some breakfast, or either go up to the galley on Lido deck and get something to eat there. And then before you know it, you're sitting in a hot tub, or either we're pulling into port and you're doing an excursion and riding sailing catamarans around. Who knows? There's always so many different things to do. I wanted to mention this for cruises starting really around $600 and up. The first one right here leaves February 9th through February 16th, 2025. I think this would be a great one for a lot of us veterans and our friends, families to get on because the price point is so good. Plus, look, you get to go out of Miami, go to Nassau, Amber Cove, and Grand Turk, and spend Valentine's Day at sea. Hey, how about that? I think that would be wonderful. I'm not sure I've ever done that.
That's a beautiful ship too. It's a beautiful.
It really is.
One of the big
really
ships.
is. Okay, and then moving on to the next one, we have February 16th. So if we go on that one, that first one I mentioned, we'll do a back-to-back, and you just sail right here out of Miami again on the 16th, and we have a nice sea day, go to Cozumel, Mahogany Bay, and Costa Maya. So now we're seeing Eastern Caribbean, the Western Caribbean. It doesn't get any much better than that, I don't think, unless, we start seeing some other ports. Now, here's our Carnival Magic, also out of Miami. It's the February 22nd to March 2nd, though. But this is an 8-day Eastern Caribbean starting at $764 per person based on double occupancy in the cabin. But they'll sell out of Miami, go to Amber Cove, San Juan, St. Martin, St. Thomas, and a couple sea days back to the port in Miami. That sounds like a lot of fun to me. And the Carnival Magic, I've been on each of these ships, and I haven't been on the Celebration yet. I'm sorry. I'll be on there in November, I believe it is. But I'm excited. I still got to get on the Jubilee too. I really want to get on there. They got one of the best cruise directors I think ever, and I want to figure out how she has so much energy.
I was gonna say she's beautiful too.
She's a pretty lady also. And then we have the Carnival Horizon, and I tell you what. I really love the Carnival Horizon, but this is March 1st to March 9th. And man, they're going to some great places. Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, a couple more sea days and back in Miami. And that is a really, I don't know, the Mardi Gras, Magic, Horizon. I think there's some of my favorite, larger ships. I've been on, oh my gosh, I could just go on and on about ships I've been on. But those are some of my favorite, really. And I just hope people will consider getting in touch with us and going sailing there. Get out on the cruise ship. It's fun. You can't beat it. Hey, enough of
What was your last cruise? What was your last one?
I believe it was on, I believe the last one may have been on the Glory out of New Orleans.
Okay, all right. Another good port to cruise out of. New Orleans is always fun.
45 minutes to an hour, and we're on the ship, so we're right here. It's hard to let that down. Also, Mobile, parts of the year, they also sell out of Mobile, and that's also 45 minutes. We're right in between the two. And so we have some options right here. Yeah, they're really nice, real quick ports, and they have they don't have to necessarily have all long cruises. You get your 4 and 5, even up to 7-day cruises out of those locations. So we really enjoy that and try to take advantage of it, and take some folks, go with some other people.
Nice, because you can have so many different types of experiences. I mean, you mentioned your honeymoon with your wife, and then it looks like the two of you went back on Mardi Gras again. I mean, you can have a nice couples experience. Or I think it's always a lot of fun with friends because it's such a social, outgoing experience that people are on board. Do you sing karaoke by any chance?
Oh my goodness! Let me pull my mic.
Is that a yes or a no?
Oh yeah, I love to sing a little karaoke. You know what I mean? But I really do. I don't mind. I mean, I'm a little bit shy. It can have stage fright. But there's some songs I might be able to try to belt out. And I play a mean air guitar too. So anyway. Hey, look,
we used to have the lip syncing battle. So that sounds like that was right up your alley.
Yeah, it would have been. Hey, but they have so much entertainment and everything. I don't know. We could talk for hours about Carnival. And I know especially you could, because all the ins and outs. You're probably a master of all the ships, most everything about all the ships. It seems like all of y'all are so sharp, and you really, really, you love your brand, you wear your brand,
we love our company.
and you're knowledgeable about it. And I think that's lovely, no doubt. Excuse me. But look, we got about 10 more minutes, Joel. So we're going to have to come off early because we got to switch studios for another show. The Black Sugar Show is immediately following this one. So why don't you share with us a little bit? I won't talk. Maybe we won't have the overlap in the voice also. Okay.
Okay. No, that sounds great. No, so we were chatting, I guess, last week and said, why do you want to cruise? And we had some visuals. We're having a little technical issues. So I'm not even going to put those up because I worry that it's going to buffer too much for the audience here. I see we're buffering just a little right now, but why cruise? Red mentioned he went on Mardi Gras. One of the ships he showed you all was Celebration. Those are two of our new ships or newer ships. We're building these big ships that hold about a little over 6,000 people, but they're fantastic. They have all kinds of bells and whistles and features. There's roller coasters on board. There's like live music in the evening, whether you're into jazz or you're into karaoke or you're into seeing aerial shows. It's a little bit of everything going on, but we have 27 ships right now. We keep growing, and Red, I know all the ships you showed were pretty new ships, and they were mostly all oriented out of the Miami area or sailing from out of Miami. But, the ships are fantastic. They're like a city at sea. If you've never been on one, I liked how we were talking about dining. There's a little bit of something for everyone, whether you like casual or upscale or even going to like a nicer steakhouse, which is our specialty dining. But it's kind of the same with cruising. Cruising, we try to get them close to people. I mentioned those 14 different ports, but we have a variety of itineraries. So if you're looking for just a short little weekend getaway or a sampler, you can do anything from a 3 or 4 day cruise that goes over a weekend all the way up to, and I never thought I would see this, but we're doing some longer cruises too. If you've kind of been there, done that, been all through the Caribbean, you've been to Alaska, you've been to Europe, you're looking for something different. We do up to 31 days is the longest one we have right now, which is going over to the South Pacific and some really exotic countries that I never thought Carnival, being America's cruise line, that we would necessarily ever sail to. So there's a nice variety on itineraries and a variety of different ships out there. The other thing too is, cruising is I love those price points that you got, because I think one of them was that Celebration was 7 days it was under $700, I think you said, or right around, which is a great deal. We're seeing cruise pricing and demand just go through the ceiling right now because people are traveling. And at first, right after COVID, not sure if the audience knows, but the cruise industry was shut down for 19 months. And so there was no cruising. And when we came back, we saw a lot of people, especially the repeat cruisers, but a lot of new to cruising people jumping on board. And, we called it revenge travel within the industry, that people were just mad. They didn't want to be stuck in their homes. They wanted to travel. I mean, we're a couple years out now and we're beyond that. People are just traveling. They've caught on that cruising is just such a great deal and it's an easy way to travel. So we're seeing occupancy levels and demand at record levels. So we keep building more ships, which is, I guess, good for all of us out there. We are the strongest cruise line, or the world's most popular. It's based on number of guests sailed every year, but we are the strongest within our corporate portfolio. So we're under Carnival Corporation. There are 7 different brands under our corporate portfolio, and Carnival is leading it. So we keep adding more and more ships, and they just keep getting bigger and better, and with even more features on board. So we got another 7 joining between now and 2033, which 2033 just sounds like it should be something in the Jetsons, doesn't it?
It really does. Maybe even the Jetsons beyond. I don't know, but oh wow, definitely Star Wars and beyond,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, only 9 years from now.
Who knows, right? Look, man, that's some great things you're sharing there. And what I don't know, has Carnival announced something new that's coming out yet, or is that still to be announced? A new destination?
Oh, yes, I like where you're going. I like where you're going with that one. Yes, right, yes. Yes. So we primarily sail. You see a lot of Caribbean itineraries because we're off the East Coast and the Gulf Coast. We do West Coast. We do Alaska. We go to Europe. We go to Australia. But what we have a lot of itineraries going to the Caribbean, and we've got exclusive destinations that the corporation's been building over the last 15, 20 years. But we have the newest one coming next July. So over in the Bahamas on Grand Bahama Island, we're building an exclusive destination. It will be called Celebration Key. So it is currently under construction right now. Right now, it's a big sandy area where with cranes, it's going to be the Caribbean's largest freshwater lagoon with 5 different portals. So it's going to be get off the ship and everything is set up for you. Great beach day, whether your beach day is hanging out with your family or the adults only section with the live music and swim up bars, to a more secluded kind of VIP experience with cabanas and elevated dining. There's a little bit of something for everyone. So we are super excited about Celebration Key, and that will be featured on over 500 itineraries. We're out of just about every port from the East Coast and Gulf Coast. A little harder to get to from California.
I was kind of wondering. Yeah, a little bit difficult then. Had to do the Panama crossing and stuff, and who knows? Yeah. I don't know if it'd ever make it that far unless it was one of those 31-day voyages. Yeah. But I know I've talked to a lot of people lately that have been doing that long Pacific voyage, going to Australia and going back north. And man, they seem like they really love it. I haven't ever tried anything like that. I'm kind of anxious to maybe delve into it. And also on an Alaskan cruise. I haven't been on an Alaskan cruise. My wife's really wanting to go, and I know we have some offerings. So got to look more into that.
Yeah. Yeah, Alaska. We just opened the Alaska season for summer of 26. Summer of 25 is obviously open as well. But Alaska's spectacular. And I hear so many people who go, oh, I love the beach. I love the sun. I don't want the cold. You have to go to Alaska just at least once to see it. I mean, Alaska is spectacular and really is kind of the last frontier, whether you're going humpback whale watching or doing some of the tours, the old saloon towns. I mean, it's a great experience.
Right. Okay. I'm really interested in that. I'm going to start pushing and promoting those a little more, because I do have a lot of friends I've met and folks out in the Midwest, the West Coast, and hopefully Canadian from Canada, and hopefully I can persuade some of those to go on the Alaskan cruises, check it out. Of course, they might be wanting to get down this way, and maybe our folks here need to get up there. I don't know, for a little temperature change. I wouldn't mind being somewhere cool right now. That's a fact.
Hey, you know what? Have you done Panama Canal before? You mentioned just a minute ago going through the canal.
I wanted
that one. That might be a great option for you, where we've got the ship that's in Mobile. So Mobile is such a great city, but it's a little bit of a smaller market. So the ship is there during the winter months, and during the summer months goes to to Alaska, excuse me.
Right.
That's so we do a crossing where you go all the way through.
Yeah, I wanted to get on that. The January 17th, the cruise. I'm familiar with it. I have not been able to secure even a cabin for myself right now. We have some clients that are on it, but I didn't think it would sell out that quick. Kristen, our time's up. I hate it. I really, really, really hate it. It flew by. It flew by for me anyway. And
me too.
So we got to close up. I thank you for being here. I want everybody in the audience to know, because people get to see this. The recording's not just live, okay? So this will be playing. It'll be playing, and it'll be playing. Remember, hey, travel agents have a direct line to Carnival and to these big wheels, these big deals, folks at Carnival. And so we have answers just right at our fingertips if we don't already know it. And they do actually have a pretty good training program for ourselves, for the agents anyway. And once again, thank you for being here. We're down to that 1 minute mark. And I got to say, bye. Oh, it's like the end of a cruise. Oh, I wish we had a moment to sing, but we'll meet again. Okay.
Next one, next time.
Thank you. All right.
Yes,
bye-bye.
thank you all.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, Be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.